Happy Hump Day, and thanks for joining me on this Way Back Wednesday episode of the Patient Attraction Podcast. Now, I've had a lot of dentists that have come to me complaining about how slow their website is or about how much time it takes for them to make an update with their web provider. Now, these speed problems all boil down to their website hosting. And back in this 2013 podcast episode, the one about the pitfalls of your website hosting, I warned dentists that these hosting problems can turn patients away from your website. And frankly, Google is now de-ranking websites that provide a slow user experience. Listen to find out how to solve this problem and provide patients with an excellent website experience. Enjoy.
Hey, Colin, Receiver here. Today is Saturday, February 23rd. Had some thoughts for today about the platform that you're building your website on. There's a lot of different options out there that you can use to build your next website. Some of them proprietary, some of them non-proprietary. And I want to spend a few minutes today talking about the different options that exist, some quick pros and cons of each, and what those really mean to you as a dentist when you hear different words thrown out with, Joomla or WordPress or proprietary content systems, and what all that really means to you as a dentist. When you're building your website, there's some kind of back end that has to store that information. There's a system that has to manage and control the information. That's what we're talking about today, is those systems that really are seamless. It's kind of like your practice management software. You can run EagleSoft and SoftDen and Curve and all the different systems. They all have pros and cons, and what does it really mean to you? Which one do you want to do? Here, we actually run all WordPress. We run a modified WordPress platform that we have dubbed Snap. And what Snap does for us is it gives us some increased security. It gives us increased reliability. We do daily backups for all of our clients. It's a complete managed WordPress solution, in addition to offering a dedicated hosting platform. And what dedicated hosting means is we see a lot of WordPress sites that are hosted out on HostMonster or Bluehost or these shared hosting platforms. And all of the sites, almost without exception, are laggy. They're slow to load. They're slow to pull up. If you go to any of our websites, you see that they just come up instantly. We've got a 100 meg pipe to the internet that has a dedicated server. We've also got redundancy in Atlanta, Georgia, as well as here in Louisville. So when you look at one of our sites versus a WordPress platform that's hosted elsewhere, you notice it loads a lot quicker. Well, that's because we've got a lot more processing power in here in-house. We've got more server capacity, and we're also not hosting, like Bluehost and HostMonster, where they might host 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 websites on one server machine. We're only hosting, a fraction of that. So our threshold's a lot lower, which delivers a lot higher quality of service. We also have a third-party monitoring service that we use to ensure that our websites stay up 24/7. We have, I think over the past year, something like 99.99% uptime availability of our websites, which is, if you look at anything across the internet, Google offers 99.9% uptime with their business services, and we're running at 0.99%, which, if you do the math, I think it comes out to something like 6 hours that the website is down per year. The majority of that is in the middle of the night when we're running scheduled updates, and the site is down for 5 or 10 minutes at a time. But we've actually installed our monitoring on HostMonster in the past, on several occasions on HostMonster, and found that they usually run anywhere from 87 to 94% uptime. So you have a lot more availability, a lot more speed, a lot more processing power, overall quicker, faster experience. Getting back to the platforms that you can run, proprietary versus WordPress or versus Joomla or whatever other system you might be looking at out there. The main benefits to running an open source platform. Anybody can build a platform that you can use, but the problem is then you're locked in to that platform. If you go to, say, pro sites, or there's a lot of companies out there that offer the templated IDA comes to mind. You cannot transfer their websites. You can transfer the domain, but the website itself is built on a proprietary platform that once you build that site, you're locked in. That's the end of the road. It can't be expanded. It can't be transferred. You pay for it as long as you're with that company, and then if you decide to leave, you have to build another website. If you decide you want to redesign your website, build another website. When you're working with a WordPress platform or an open source Joomla platform, for one, you're portable. If you decide that we're not the best provider for your needs, if you decide that whoever you're with, you don't like them anymore, you can pick it up and take it with you. If you decide that you're tired of paying the fees of managing your own website, having your webmaster make all the updates for you, with WordPress, you can instantly go in and make changes to your website yourself. If you can edit a Word document, you can edit your own website with WordPress. I mean, it's just that easy. Oftentimes when we're going through some changes on a website with a client, we'll have them on the phone. We'll be making changes in real time while they watch, and I say, click refresh, and you can see the changes we just made. Oftentimes with proprietary platforms, you're often very reliant upon the provider because you don't have any portability or control to do things such as security checks and backups. Because they are in full control of the system, because it's homegrown, there's not any way that you can back up your data. In fact, really, there's not a purpose for you backing up your data, because even if you have a backup of your website and it's from a proprietary platform, you still really can't do anything with that data. It would be like, for instance, if you have EagleSoft in your office and you have a backup and your server crashes and then you install SoftDent. You can't just restore your EagleSoft backup and you're off to the races. You would have to convert that EagleSoft to SoftDent, and then it would be able to read it. Well, same way with proprietary platforms. If you are able to do a backup, you're still not portable. You're still locked into that platform. Most proprietary systems don't allow you to do that kind of backup and security checks, just because it's an inherent flaw of how their system, how the overall scheme of things work. With WordPress or with any other platform, you also have the availability of the third-party market. You have the ability to go out to the WordPress marketplace, buy themes, buy plugins, expandability, add-on features very easily, in many cases for free, without having to pay for an expensive web developer to develop it for you. If you're on a proprietary platform, then you're going to be stuck paying for somebody to develop that for you, whereas with WordPress, somebody's probably already invented the wheel out there somewhere, and they'll allow you to download it for free or for a small fee, $10-20, versus paying a developer $100 an hour to create something for you, a function your website does. Maybe it's a contact form, maybe it's a little floating widget on the side of the screen, maybe it's a notification bar at the top for whatever it may be. You have that third-party marketplace with all kinds of availability. So that's some quick thoughts for Saturday here. Keep moving forward.